Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you doing? My name remains Abiola Adisa, the media HR. And if this is your first time coming across this channel, do well to subscribe. And go beyond subscribing, just turn on your notifications so that whenever we put up a video, you get notified. And as well, like, share to your colleagues. They might just get one or two knowledge from past video or today's video. You never know. Anyways, moving right into the conversation or to discuss for today. I'm particularly excited again. And you guys know that whenever I'm excited, it only means one thing, that I'm not here alone. I'm here today in the studio with a friend turned colleague. Yes, we're in the same profession together. And I will allow him to do the honors of introducing himself.
Welcome to Biola's YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. It's so hard to see her these days, when your friends, when they grow bigger, you have to book meetings with their peers. But anyway, my name is Kayode, Fatokun. Like she said, we go way back.
Yeah,
from primary school. Mm-hmm. She was a top flyer then. I remember. She was beating us hands down.
Yes.
So yeah.
I was always first or second or something.
Right. I remember the common entrance exam we did. You came first and I came third. Be careful. And we share a lot of things. Same month.
Yeah.
She's April 5, I'm April 6.
Yeah.
Same year. We are not seeing the age we are clocking this year. Lip sealed. What else do we share? Are you a Man U fan?
The same profession. Yes, I am.
Oh, she's a Man U fan.
I am a fake Man U fan.
Return our jersey. And yeah, we're in the same profession, but it's I need you to also know that for every job I've gotten, she prepares me for the interview, and I always get there.
Funny thing is my last job as well.
Yeah.
You sent me
the job ad. I saw it on LinkedIn, and I woke up that morning like, Biola, you need to apply for this.
Yeah,
but you never gave me 10%.
Don't worry.
Anyways, I started off as an HR analyst, and then I figured connecting talents to the right opportunities was my thing that I enjoyed doing. So I enjoy conversing with founders, with talent, and you have this opening, I have this person, and it became something. And then a couple of trainings, couple of networking. Here we are now, and it's been good, but mostly working on both tech and non-tech roles, and I've been enjoying it so far.
Oh, great.
Thank you to friends like you.
Thank you. I received my flowers.
All right.
So I will just, our conversation today is majorly going to be around, I'd just like to pick up from some of the things that you've said right now. And last week on the show, we spoke about workplace nuance. Those little things that we don't pay attention to, right? Yeah. We're more concerned about performance, strategy, the goal for the year, the financial goal. This is going to be our revenue target for the year. And then there's some little things that we don't pay attention to as an organization, right? And so that's where I want to start the conversation, or that's what this episode is about. So it's communication and workplace culture, right? Sure. Let's try and establish a link between the both of them, if there is even a link.
Of course there is.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to. So let's take a deep dive into it already. So the first question I will ask you, you already answered me, but you say it again. Do you think that communication is one of the factors for organizational success?
Oh, definitely, because let's go through the process of an employee joining a new organization. You have to really communicate why it is important for them to be there, what you guys are trying to achieve, the vision, the mission. And what I've realized is that a lot of people don't pay attention to those things, and if you get a good talent and they don't feel connected to what you're trying to do, they won't find a way that they fit into that puzzle.
Yeah, that sense of belonging.
And then that's when you begin to hear people say, oh, I worked here 6 months, I just feel disconnected and I'm leaving. They have a low morale and all of those things. So communication, culture, it's all, if there's no communication, how do you even cascade your culture? How do you let people, because you have to let people know your norms here, your values, your tradition, because they're coming
True.
from somewhere
True.
and they have like a different experience, different exposure. So communication at all times, and it should be, what I've always advocated for was like it should be top to bottom, bottom to top, because a lot of people are disconnected from like senior management, even though they do all these organizational retreats, end of the year, all of this and all of that, and everybody's just seated.
And then they go somewhere fancy
somewhere
for like 3
fancy.
days.
The social media team is recording and posting for us on LinkedIn, but down to the most junior person in your team, they should be able to see how, the little part that they play keys into the overall success of the organization. And I tell people like, treat your company like you're a stakeholder. It doesn't matter, even if you are the cleaner, if you don't clean well, people cannot enjoy that workspace. So everybody is a stakeholder as long as you are part of the organization. So yeah.
And I think, so when we say communication, sometimes people think that, it's what you write on the wall. I mean, that's a mode of communication.
Definitely.
But by definition, effective communication is when you as the sender, the receiver, has received the message and they understand. And I think that's where some people, or maybe in organizations, we sort of miss it. We feel like, oh, I've said it. We already have our goals. We already have our mission, our vision statement.
Yeah.
Everybody's reciting it every morning as we get to
Even
work.
down to task.
Do you understand? But there's no certainty that they've actually received and they understand the parts that they are supposed to play. So, in your opinion, what do you think there are some red flags that indicate poor communication? Okay, let me put you on the spot.
Okay.
You're a technical recruiter, right? And how do you know if you come across an employer that in this organization they have effective communication skills or style?
That's very well.
That's
So it's always evident.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you said, communication. People throw that word effective communication around a lot, but I always try to say comprehension too is a very big thing.
Yeah.
So there are different modes, and I think it's about understanding firm-wide what works here, and even your direct manager what works with him or her, because from my own experience, once you are in an organization and you see the way things are being run, you can easily tell that, oh, these guys are in sync or not in sync. Like, you can work in a place where your boss is like on leave for a week and things are still running smoothly because everybody's in sync with what's going, and it's probably because of the tools, the strategy, or their mode or techniques of how they have figured things. So for me, I always say people should work with what works for them. So, but what I've realized is that apologies to my fellow HR friends, everybody wants to like copy the same template, and then you see people, and you see people, oh, how do you guys do this in your own? Like, sit down, do an audit and analysis of the kind of employees you have. Sorry, I'm going into different places, but what I've realized from research is that even with generations, there are like different mode of communication.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so I've worked in places where your manager wants you to type something out on A4 paper, and I've worked in places where someone is fine with just sending a message on Slack, details, and also it's always clear when people are connected, when a unit is connected, when a department is connected. In fact, there are organizations that have been able to achieve that, like they are spread all over the world and there's still that connection.
There's that style.
So you define it, and it still boils down to HR and senior management saying, you know what, we want everybody to feel like they're part of this system, they are carried along and all that. So it's always very evident when you join an organization and you see, where I work currently, one thing I told them was, I like the way my founder carried everybody along, like down to the revenue line. You see, so you can see your input, you can see the number of projects you worked on, you can see how that translated into the revenue line and all of that. So that makes you feel like, oh yeah, I'm part of something. So if he's not doing that and we're just working and you're like, okay, what are we doing here? what's happening, how many projects have we done, are we making money, are we making progress, and all of that. So it's always evident. And it's just the way, even in families, that you can see maybe a boyfriend and a girlfriend, like even from body language, and these people are not in sync. But yeah, it's always very clear.
True. Okay, so now let's link it to culture, workplace culture. And one thing you made mention of is, so you spoke about where you currently work and how the founder sort of made everyone feel connected.
Yeah.
And I can bet that would sort of encourage a culture of collaboration.
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, when you realize that, oh, I'm part of something, if Dami from finance needs something you'll be happy to say,
Sure.
let me help you and everything. So, okay, so I guess it's just to further conclude that communication, effective communication within a workplace, even though it seems like a little factor, goes a long way in setting the foundation for the culture in that organization, right? Yeah. Okay, so now let's factor in, various scenarios. Now we have remote roles. We have people that are not physically together, because research shows that physical communication is a lot more easier, right? Because physically I can see your body language, I can see whether you're angry, do you understand? But we don't have that luxury with remote roles. We don't have that luxury. So would you say
you can send emojis?
Right. Now that talks about generation, because Generation X will not be sending emojis with you. They will send the email and put 100 question marks so that you understand that, So would you say that the introduction of remote roles or remote work in today's workplace has sort of affected communication and workplace culture? Do you think that either positively or negatively?
I'll say both.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm an advocate of remote work, please.
Obviously.
Lagos traffic is killing. So remote work has like its pros and cons, and as much as it has opened up more opportunities, I would say yes. But the people that have figured it out realize that, we can only be successful when there's like great communication going, like it should be ongoing.
Constant.
Right, ongoing, One thing I learned from the people I've worked with is that they always say something like, whenever you are communicating or you think you are communicating, put yourself in the receiver's shoes. So if you want to send an email, take a moment and read it as if someone sent it to you, and ask yourself, is this information clear enough? Are you addressing the main issue and all of that? And where I work currently, it took a while because I went from working hybrid to like fully remote. So sometimes you lose track, and I was trained to stay on top of things, and even if the other person is slacking, you'll be on top of it. Oh, hi, follow-ups and all of that, because not everybody's going to be like you, right? Not everybody's going to be like you, and like we said, there are like generational differences. But it takes intentionality from managers.
Okay.
Because one thing I want people to know is people shadow you as managers. People shadow your style of management.
True.
And then before you know it, your team will become like you.
Yeah, they're doing what you do.
They are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I started learning from the people I work with, whether you're a senior manager or whatever it is, or you are just the same level as me. I learn from you, I improve and all of that, because like I said, once you realize you're a stakeholder, the little things and the non-little things that you do, they affect the entire picture. So
I agree.
Remote work has its pros and cons, but then you have to open yourself up to like exceptional talent, because sometimes you might not find talent in your own geographical location. So of course, but it takes intentionality to sit down and draw up a structure and say, okay, this is how we want to communicate here. One thing that has worked, that has worked for us is we draw up like a one-pager, how to work with me or working with me. So you put that out there. How you communicate. Do you prefer calls? Do you prefer emails? Do you prefer... In fact, some people even clarify, don't text me between this time, because I'm probably with my babe. So, fine, it might not work for like a large thing, but
I think it would actually.
it would, because the thing is,
might.
it cascades from a small unit, to maybe like the payroll unit, then to the HR, then so it cascades, and everybody has like different chat box managers, different levels, and you just have to be intentional about it, because you know that things will get lost in transit. Yeah, so it's intentionality. It's working with the tools that people are comfortable with, because I've worked in places where you're supposed to use Google Space, but people are messaging on WhatsApp, and someone is telling you WhatsApp is my private. Don't disturb me. So now you have people having two phones, one for work. So it takes a lot of intentionality, like I said.
That's a workplace nuance as well.
Yeah, because people are not following these things.
Yeah, you feel like, why are you invading my privacy? Like, why are you texting me on WhatsApp
I've
at
had
10
issues,
p.m.?
like I've had experience where a boss was ranting. I called you around 6 p.m. and the girl was like, "It's my personal time. I'm with my man. You can't disturb me." But
don't be don't be disturbing
some people
me.
not reply if you text them on their private line. Like, keep it to the work chat.
Yeah.
So you have to train people how to even use the work chat, because we have a mix of people in the workplace now. So it takes intentionality, like I said, but it is important to stay on top of communication. And if possible, now we have organizations doing once in a month link ups, quarterly link ups, virtual hangouts, not to promote anybody, but I'm seeing a lot of videos end of the year, like just flying in people just to have that sense of collaboration, connection, and then you go back and I met you at the blah blah blah. Oh, I never knew you like this, and all of that. So it's intentionality and all that, but we cannot take away remote work. Forget what is happening in the world. I know a lot of companies, and of course some kind of roles require that people come in. Yeah. But technology is advancing. And, I feel like some organizations, when COVID happened, they didn't really get the remote work. The collaboration was missing, and you call someone and you're hearing market sounds and you're like, okay. So those little things will just make the manager say, you know what, management, everybody, back to the office. So, like I said, everybody should just understand that there is stakeholder. It doesn't matter the level you are. So if you are a stakeholder, people see what you're doing, you are seeing what others are doing, and everybody now say, oh, this person is pulling their weight, then I want to also do better. And everybody now, champion that thing. Because if it's just management or if it's just HR, everybody thinks, oh, culture, this one, it should be this. No, everybody. I
think that's a conversation for another day.
Even down to the people at the gate. Everybody.
It's a culture. It's a way of life.
It's for everybody, because they are representing your brand. Yeah.
Okay, so from what I hear you say, we can definitely say that effective communication will further enhance a successful remote work model, right? Or
you
hybrid.
Have to find what works for you.
It would also enhance culture. You have to find what works for you. Ensure that the communication is constant and everyone is kept in the loop. Because it's so easy to feel disconnected with remote work. That's one of the cons, yes, right? Okay, so now let's go to personal experience. Can you share, you mentioned earlier that you have, so personal experience where, workplace communication had a big difference on you, either positively or negatively, like communication and workplace culture?
A lot of experience. So I started working like from 2018, and I've worked in startups, multinationals. So I think one that was key for me was when I started working, I joined an organization where if you were Chief Mrs. Abiola Adisa, you have to call it fully.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so then from there I went to another organization where I was seated at the reception, and I think the PA to the CEO just said, oh, let's assume I'm the CEO. He just said, oh, Kayode is not around. I'm like, that's what I do for you. So I already did my research. Like the guy is a big person, well established. So
you're like, who's it?
Do you get? And then I also moved to a place where I was coming from. There were like chains of command, where if you want to buy just sachet water, there are levels of signature. You can. And then I'm now in a place where the founder is like, you know what? Just take ownership. I believe in you. I respect your ideas. So come forward. instead of leaning back and getting direction. So there are different experiences, but one thing I always tell people is you have to quickly adapt, because the world of work is very fast paced, and we are adopting a lot of culture, work culture from the globe. In the world of work, at least when we were young, I don't think you can come to work and you call your boss by their name.
By their first,
And now everybody's just, even if your founder has raised $30 million, you just call the name blah. So you have to understand what is permissible here.
In your
and then you have to. Let me share this funny experience. I was in a place where you don't use ma and sa, and I was making a presentation to people in senior management. So someone was helping me with my slide, as at that time we don't have like a very fully tech monitor screen and all. So whenever she switches it to the next slide, I'll say, "Thank you, ma." They allowed me finish the presentation. The presentation was supposed to get me like a promotion to the next level. And my HR, she probably watched this. My head HR said, "Okay, you have done well, but you see this mama, you are a Yoruba boy. this is your culture. We understand that you're a respect fan, but we don't do that here. And if you don't correct that, you infect others."
Yes.
So it might take a while for you to learn, unlearn, relearn, but you have to be intentional. And that's where in your onboarding process as HR managers, HR operation, whatever, you have to be very clear what is permissible from dressing.
Yeah.
Some organizations have a culture where you can't eat on your desk. You have to go to the canteen, the cafeteria, whatever. So you have to like sink in and swim in and let go of where you're coming from.
Or your home training.
I I've just gone through different things. I started off wearing tie Monday to Friday.
Well, look at you now.
I'm coming from. I was going to work one day and I wore a white lace, and my neighbors were like, "Sorry, are you going for one day?"
Are you going to party?
But my people don't. They accept. So you have to adapt and even be the ambassador of the organization's culture. Because for me, I always tell people that you're representing that brand. Because whenever I go out to seminars, events, where do you work? I like how you spoke. Then you promote your company. So it takes a lot of intentionality, because you can't say, "Oh." And I've also had a situation where the organization was like young people, and then someone older comes in and like, "You have to respect me here." The fact that we call you like your first name doesn't mean we don't respect you. So that's why there's a lot of
oh my goodness.
Yeah, but with time.
I just remembered something.
Okay, I guess we all have experiences.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's interesting, the world of work, because it involves different people coming from different backgrounds.
And DEI now says you accept everybody.
Yes,
so
you have to be inclusive and all that.
So.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for that answer. I mean, I think that we've shared so much.
We can go. It's a lot.
We can go on and on.
If you start breaking it down, communication on its own, culture on its own.
It's a
lot.
Yeah.
But I think what I would say here is for culture management, you define your own culture. I don't know, we are in so many HR groups, and someone was like, "Can I get culture templates?" You do your own template.
Yeah, it has to work for you.
You sit with the owners, you sit with the founders, the senior management, and say, "Okay, what do you want here?
Yeah.
What are the values that we are promoting?"
Yeah.
So it's okay to shadow. So a lot of startups now, they want to be like Google, Microsoft, Tesla, blah blah blah. It's okay to read their success stories. Oh, they were working, drinking coffee and all of that, but will it work for you? I've had issues where a manager comes in and says, "During our time, we're sleeping in the office." The children of nowadays, they want to finish work, go to the gym, go for obli, all of those things. So and that's where I think we are now having like a disconnect, because your manager is probably from an older generation, and then you have a new.
You now have I don't like
that bad PR of Gen Z. I don't like it too,
because it's not entirely.
you should manage people differently,
Yeah.
and accept everybody. They see
Yeah.
life differently.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the world of work differently,
Yeah.
and some people still can't fathom that these kids are at home and they're making money. During our time, we're jumping
We're
buses.
going out. We're waking up at 3
So,
a.m.
yeah, you just
so
have
that
to,
we can
accommodate all of these things, like,
and factor that into
yeah.
what you're designing for the organization.
And God bless you. And when you are designing, factor the future.
Yeah.
When a lot of companies were being, designed and all of that, I'm sure nobody saw remote work coming.
Yeah.
But when it happened, everybody came back to the drawing board. Okay, how do we get laptops to people?
Yeah.
How do we communicate? All of those things. So you have to factor life as ongoing, as changing. It's a dynamic world now. In fact, you might still be drawing up a template, and before you wake up the next day,
Things have changed.
Another tech is out there, another market is out there to conquer, and all of those things. So you just have to be on top of the world, and sometimes your management might be the problem.
Oh,
because
tell me
you are
about
telling
it.
them, let's accommodate, and they're saying, why will some people come? Why will some people not come? This thing was what led to issues with the tech talent, where there's like the people in the non-tech, they are coming to work, but the tech bros are like, the moment the time I'm spending in traffic,
they can't spend so much time.
I want to work alone. I need music. So you just have to accommodate people, accommodate different things, and let everybody know that, you know what, you guys are sales team. You must be on the road. These guys are tech team.
They can work.
You want our servers to be down, so it's intentionality
anywhere.
And everybody just understanding that things have changed. Things have changed. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, there's so much to unpack here, but because of time, we have to start winding this down. I think my last question would be, what advice will you give to someone? So there might be someone watching us today and they feel disconnected from their workplace because of, or they struggle with communication in the workplace. What advice would you give them?
I think I'll start with the people still in school and just maybe out of school. I think one mistake I wasn't exposed was not trying to work. And when I mean trying to work, while you're in school, maybe on your holidays, try to work with someone. Try to get internships and all of that. But for someone that is already in the workplace, it's very, I won't say simple, but you have to be, sorry, I keep using this word intentional, right? Diagnose yourself. Why do I feel disconnected? Is it my boss? Am I not getting clarity? Is it the mode of communication? Because sometimes people just dump things on us and expect you to understand. So if you can reach out to whoever it is you are not in sync with, hi, can I have a one-on-one? Okay, I feel like we should. So come with a problem and a solution that you think will work for you.
Oh, great.
That you think will work for you. And sometimes maybe it doesn't work for the person, but there should be flexibility.
Yeah.
So be very open, because if you keep to yourself in the workplace, that's like your decline.
You'll suffer in silence.
Yeah, that's like your decline, because collaboration, you need it both in your unit or department or whatever, and across across functions, across department, because you might be in Lagos and you need something from someone in Abuja. One thing I've noticed is that high flyers, they are good communicators. Sometimes they are not even the smartest.
Yeah.
But and people think being a good communicator is talking in meetings all the time, shouting, cracking jokes.
No, that's not it.
When you have the ability to have conversations with people at different levels, a lot of people, I struggle with it too. You see all those guys in C-suits, you always fear them. You're like, CFO, be chairman. So you have to learn how to build confidence. One thing you can also do is take trainings. I remember that I took a communication skill enhancement training, down to writing, how to write emails. All these things are I'm not perfect. I am also not perfect, but you just keep learning, watch YouTube videos, take trainings, look out for mentors.
Try it on your friends too.
On your friends too. All those things, they matter. So it takes intentionality, and it's not just maybe junior people or younger people, like everybody, because even sometimes some managers don't even know how to communicate down to their peers. So, and I tell people that there are different stakeholders in the workplace. Yeah. So they are like we're in HR now. We have all these compliance guys, these tax guys, vendor management, and all of those things. So the way you even handle those ones is different from the way you handle your internal people,
your internal employees,
how you handle customers, clients, and all of that. So you have to be able to
manage
people,
everybody around.
Client communication, co-workers, like this communication thing is very, very dicey. That someone responded to someone and said, "Oh, thank you, dear," and it caused trouble, right? And the person was like, it's just how I talk.
Just an endearment.
Like, so you have to be careful when you are conversing with people, even at work. Don't bring home don't
the workplace.
The way you talk with your friend, B, what's up? Like, you have to manage all of those things. So, again, if you are feeling disconnected, self-diagnose, reach out to your manager. And sometimes, this thing, feedback in the workplace, it used to be top down.
Well, now we're
adopting 360.
360.
Tell your Oga, yourself.
To communicate well.
God bless you. But I don't want to say we have strong-headed bosses or something, but everybody now is like, okay, I want to understand my team, and I want to understand the individuals in my team. Yeah. If this person, if it's phone call, okay, hi Kayode, let's jump on a call. We have that conversation. Some people, they are fine with email and all of that. So it's everybody, how you communicate, like top down and
down up as well.
Downward communication and upward. So intentionality, learn on your own. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, TED Talks. You remember school days now when we used to go for debates and all those things? Like,
I remember.
Join, and I'm saying this again to anybody watching us, like younger people, join things or activities that will make you naturally come out of your shell and make you, because I used to tell people there's nobody I cannot talk to. Like, if you be president, daughter, I will follow you talk. Like, that ability to have conversations is very good. Like, I go to places, I go for events, you see me post now, and you can just start a conversation like, oh, hi, I think I've seen you somewhere, all of those things. Like, before you're exchanging contacts, you are doing good things together, you're volunteering. So, and don't say this thing of, I'm an introvert.
Don't be an introvert in
everybody,
the workplace.
we all have our temperaments, like all of those things. Some people are naturally out there, social and all, but you can't be an introvert at work, right? It's not easy, but if you want to, like, you don't want to miss opportunities. Okay, now they want to send some people somewhere, but then that you will not talk,
so they can't,
or you won't hold conversations. Look at all these sales guys, marketing guys, business development guys. Your ability to just have conversations. You might not seal that deal at that point, and later, on the side, like, it's not like paid, but I champion my friend's business. Oh, hi, like, I could just be somewhere and someone is saying, oh, and I'm craving pepper soup. Oh, hi, sorry, I had you. Before you know, I'm sharing Instagram handle of my friends that are doing, and I'll call my friend Alpha. Someone will message you, my cut. So you just have to, be intentional, because beyond the workplace,
it's also
you have
a
to,
life skill.
like, speak.
It's also
because
a life skill.
If you don't, a lot of people that are like buzzing on LinkedIn, Twitter, and all, it's because they put themselves out there. Look at you now, like, a few years ago, you probably never thought of this, but you're out here now doing your thing, having conversations, and maybe one day you're on the global stage.
Very soon.
Please
one day
us.
soon.
So it's just
okay, thank you.
A lot of people would have shied away from something like this, like, I don't want people to see me. But
and to think that I used to be a shy person at some point
right,
in my
and
life,
look at you now, like, very confident, you speak so well, and all of that, like.
Taking growth. So I think that you've sort of encapsulated the advice very well, and I think that so majorly our conversation today is majorly to put the connect between communication and culture. And I'd just like to say this to everyone who's a manager, a senior manager and all. as much as possible, try to be inclusive in your communication to your team member. Don't just assume that they've understood what you have said. Do a check also. Do you understand what I'm saying? I always ask my those that work with me in my department. I say, do you understand? Do you really understand what I'm asking you to do? Because I'll be very pissed when you come back and then
True. I've been there.
Yeah, but I want to be
sides.
sure that. So if you tell me, oh no, I don't understand, I'll make sure I explain to say, okay, this is what I'm asking you to do. Do you understand? Thank you so
And I
much.
also
You want okay?
I think the environment, like the workplace environment, fosters communication. Like a lot of people don't feel, let me just use the word, free to open up and to give feedback or to say. A lot of managers have like this military style, so people are scared of them. You know, I've heard people say, whenever I want to talk to my manager, my heart beats. And I'm like, why? Do you understand? So why are you making yourself look like a terror in the workplace?
In the workplace.
Because what people don't know is all those things, you feel like it gets you respect, but it slows down the work because people cannot even come to you with ideas. They can't come to you with corrections, with a whole lot of things. So
I think environments like that stifles innovation or creativity.
Yeah, so
you
say you have open door policy, but it's just in the books. It's
your office is always locked.
Even if it's locked, open door means you can
come in.
You can come in, and I can openly receive whatever it is you are bringing without criticism.
Yeah.
Without what's this word? Victimizing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So open door policy, because I don't want to come to you and say, my manager, I feel like I'm lagging here and I'm hearing somewhere, no gossip culture and all of those things. So if people feel like, oh, if I open up, if I say this, I've worked with managers that I have like, I'm free to tell them what's going on with me personally, and they understand. But you read a lot of stories and people are like,
you'll be shocked.
This my manager is not doing this, but the person can open up to say, they broke my heart. I lost my dad. So, but you just see their body language and you're like, what's going on? So that environment, create that access. I have access to you. Fine, there are like different sizes of organizations.
So I think that this topic here, I think that we cannot exhaust it.
Yeah, right.
But what we might do,
you invite me for part 2.
is actually have like a part 2, because I think that there's so much to say, and practically, like maybe the next time we sit and talk about this, we'll now dive into practical, because this thing that you just said now, it's people being able to say that, oh, my heart was broken, and because of that, I'm not emotionally in the headspace.
But when you say things like that, everybody says, "Oh, you are just training mental health around." But it's real. Like if you lose your dad, I don't think you can function that day.
At least for the next 1-2 weeks,
right?
You're probably not great.
I always say this, that a lot of people in managerial roles, they are very skilled technically, but they are not skilled in people management.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's the skills and competencies that get them
up to that top, because you're very good, okay, let's promote you. But now we have organizations that are intentional about managing the manager, managing, they go for trainings and all of the and coachings and all. So I mean, it would be a pleasure to have you again.
You pay.
But that's fine. But I really think that we need to wrap this up. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There's been so much knowledge shared, and I hope that everyone that watches this, I'm sure that you're going to learn something.
Yeah, we're also learning.
And then beyond learning something, we would like that you implement it, because I mean, for me, the purpose or why I started this was, I mean, first off, to make HR to give us good PR.
You get
in the eyes of the
we're not bad people.
It's in the eyes of the public, but as well to also enhance the workplace, to see how things can be better. And if we can just do these little things, how bit little, it makes a great difference. So thank you again, Kayode, for coming.
You're welcome.
It was such fun speaking with you.
Yeah, same
and
here.
thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. We'll be looking forward to read from you what you think, what your
You can drop your
experience has
questions
been.
in the comment section,
Yeah.
and she'll.
And of course, we'll also share
respond.
contact details for Kayode in the comments. So if you want to connect with him, you'll be able to do that.
If you want to connect, it's 1 year. I'm just joking, anyways. But feel free to connect. I'm always open to talking to people.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.